Daisy, give me your answer.
Are you seriously gonna start singing that?
I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
So, this was the song Daisy Bell, sung by Jackson Pomney. For me, it's so unsettling. I think, there is no version of this song that is not creepy. And that's why I thought it was AI when I first heard it. Before watching the Amazing Digital Circus episode, but no, they did actually sing it. And it's crazy. All right, so you've heard Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due a million times. But where did it actually come from? And why do tech people keep bringing it up? Let's roll. So, quick time travel. London, 1892. A songwriter named Harry Dacre, real name Frank Dean, shows up with a cheeky little tune for the music halls. He calls it Daisy Bell, bicycle built for two. Bikes are the new obsession. Couples are out cruising, and this chorus about a stylish marriage on a tandem just hits. Instant earworm. Cut to sepia photos of Victorian music halls, couples on tandems. There's a famous story about the hook. Dacre supposedly complains about paying import duty to bring a bicycle into the US, and a friend jokes, lucky it wasn't a bicycle built for two. Boom. The line sticks. Whether that tale's 100% true or not, the song explodes on both sides of the Atlantic. Vaudeville picks it up, early wax cylinder recordings follow, and Daisy Bell becomes one of those songs your grandparents' could hum. Beat. The music changes to a soft, beepy synth. Now smash cut to 1961, Bell Labs, New Jersey. Researchers John Larry Kelly Jr. and Carol Lochbaum are playing with an IBM 79-4, a room-sized computer, trying to make it speak. Composer-engineer Max Matthews wires in accompaniment, and for the first time, a computer doesn't just beep a melody, it sings words. The demo piece? You guessed it, Daisy Bell. It's simple, a little warbly, but it's history, the first recognizable computer song vocal performance. And here's the wild crossover. Science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke visits Bell Labs, hears the machine sing, and files that away in his brain. Cut to a star field, low, ominous tone. Fast forward to 1968, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Astronaut Dave is shutting down the HAL 9000. As HAL's mind unwinds, it regresses to its earliest lesson and quietly sings, Daisy, Daisy. It's chilling, it's poetic, and it brands the song forever as the soundtrack to the birth and unspooling of machine intelligence. Clip-style reenactment. A red lens, iris, a voice softly singing, Daisy. Then fading. From there, Daisy Bell becomes the go-to test phrase for speech synthesis and a meme across decades. Anytime someone wants that vibe of old tech meeting new, cute and unsettling at the same time, they pull out the tandem bicycle song. You'll hear it in demos, retro computing videos, glitchy horror edits, because it's short, it scans well, and everybody recognizes it by the second line. Montage of vintage computers, modern voice assistants, a dusty tandem bike leaning on a fence. So yeah, one song, two lives. First as a Victorian hit about a couple on a tandem, then as the first song a computer ever sang, and finally as the eerie lullaby of sci-fi's most famous AI. Fade back to the spinning bicycle wheel. The wheel slows. Final thought. The lyric says it won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but in tech history terms, Daisy Bell turned out to be the most stylish ride of all, a bicycle built for 2 centuries. Okay, theory time. Why Daisy Bell in the new Amazing Digital Circus episode, and what are they actually signaling with it? First layer, the obvious one. It's a gag. Jax and Pomni use the cheesiest tune possible to needle Zooble, echoing Kane's earlier impulse to burst into song. It works as character comedy, and it's a neat in-universe callback. But they didn't pick any old earworm, they picked the computer song. That matters. Episode 6, They All Get Guns, literally has multiple nods to Daisy Bell being the first computer-sung piece, Bell Labs IBM, and a famous AI tell. The fandom breakdowns already clocked this, and the dubbing notes show the team kept it in English in several dubs to preserve the reference, which is a choice, not an accident. Second layer, the Sci-fi signal. HAL 9000. When HAL is being shut down in 2001: A Space Odyssey, it regresses and sings Daisy Bell. That scene hard-coded the song as the sound of a machine's mind unwinding, so dropping Daisy in a show about humans trapped in a sentient digital playground is a tonal flare. Hey, remember what this melody means in sci-fi? Memory, regression, deactivation, the line between person and program? If Kane ever breaks, reboots, or childhood regresses, this song is your foreshadowing breadcrumb. Third layer, the show's psychology. Listen to the lyric they lean on, "I'm half crazy," and tell me that isn't the most Pomni line ever written. Half crazy is basically the digital circus mental health thesis. Coping mechanisms, identity drift, the constant squeeze between avatar and self. Having two characters sing it as a duet matters too, because the hook is a tandem, a bicycle built for two. In plain English, survival here keeps coming down to pairing, needing a second process, a second person, a second thread to stay upright. Jax and Pomni turn the song into a weaponized nursery rhyme, but the subtext is, you don't get out alone. Fourth layer, power dynamics and control. In 1961, a room-sized mainframe sang Daisy Bell because humans forced a machine to make human sounds. A party trick with unsettling taste. In the circus, the polarity flips. A machine, Kane, scripts humans to perform Daisy Bell. So when Pomni and Jax belt it out, you can read it two ways at once. Defiance. We'll take your mechanical lullaby and turn it into our joke. Or resignation. We're singing the machine's song now. Maybe we're more program than we want to admit. Either way, the duet lands as a little victory lap over Zooble, but the melody belongs to the system. Fifth layer, mechanics and foreshadow. Daisy Bell is the ultimate simple loopable melody. That's why early speech synthesis used it. In a series obsessed with loops, resets, gags, weekly acts, embedding a loop-friendly nursery tune is meta-commentary. The circus turns everything, even breakdowns, into repeatable bits. If we later see a reset or regression beat for Kane, or even for a cast member hitting a memory wipe, expect Daisy to come back as the audible factory settings tone. Sixth layer, why this episode? The EP title is They All Get Guns. Escalation, agency, and the illusion of power. That's the promise. Dropping Daisy right there is sly. It undercuts the empowerment fantasy with a reminder that the system writes the soundtrack. You can hold a gun in a cartoon, but if you're still singing the computer's first lullaby, who's really in charge?
Seventh layer, the duet as a map. The chorus is literally about coordination, a tandem that only works if both writers sync. Read that against Jax and Pomni's energy. Chaotic, antagonistic, but locked in rhythm when it matters. Story-wise, that's a tell. The path forward probably isn't lone genius hacks the circus, it's two or more characters in sync ride the same machine. A bicycle built for two. Eighth layer, translation choices equal intent. Fans noticed in some dubs the song stays in English and in others the actors still perform it in English, even when the dialogue is localized. That's the creators protecting the computing history payload. They wanted that version and that melodic shape because the reference collapses if you swap the text. It's a historical Easter egg first, a joke second. tadc.fandom.com. So what's my final read? Daisy Bell in episode 6 is a pressure test for the circus's big themes. On the surface, it's Jackson Pomney weaponizing a nursery rhyme to annoy Zobel and Echo Kane. Under the hood, it's a quadruple reference. The first computer song, Bell Labs and IBM 794, planting a squarely in Machine Voice territory. HAL 9000's regression, telegraphing that a shutdown or rewind beat is on the horizon for somebody. The duet tandem metaphor, arguing the show's escape logic is paired, not solo. And the loopable lullaby of a system that keeps turning fear into a musical number, because that's how it keeps you docile. If we hear Daisy again later, slower, off-key, or from Kane himself, treat it like a siren, memory rollback incoming. And if the show ends a season with the song fading on a cut to black, they won't be just quoting HAL. They'll be telling you the circus finally pressed reset. Episode scene context and references. Episode 6, They All Get Guns, features the Jax plus Pomney duet. Fan docs also note Kane singing Daisy as a direct nod to early Machine speech and 2001. The 1961 Bell Labs and IBM performance and the 2001 HAL scene are the cultural anchors that make this choice loaded in the first place.